What is good? What is good? What is good, ladies and gentlemen? Of course, you know who I be. Good Doc, Dr. Mike TV, back again once again. Just wanted to have an honest conversation, guys. I can't lie. I just want to have an honest conversation. And you know how I am when I have honest conversations. There's no real direction. It's just I got these thoughts in my head and I just want to go ahead and lay them out as they come to me. Of course, make sure you guys get the likes up. To make yourself well versed in the Good Docs material, everything you should need to know is linked in the description area below. What do I make of my time back in the United States since leaving the Philippines? And this is a real talk conversation, and I've had about a moment, probably a day or so, day 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 10, to reflect. I had Veterans Day, and then prior to that, I had some time off from school. So, I've had time to really think about this. And the first thing that came to mind is I've just been hella productive. And it's weird. It's so weird. I've been more productive with my time in the United States than I ever was with my time spent in the Philippines, with the exception of going to school and getting my education. The times and trips, the 2 times back and forth where I was just there to enjoy what would be considered a vacation, I really did slack off a lot. And what I've noticed is being back home and being on your grind is really what it's all worth to me, And, I feel like, and I don't know if you guys feel this too, but when I go to the Philippines, I'm not as productive as I am when I'm back home. Not even close. And it's not because I'm supposed to be on a vacation, because there's still other things that I can do. There's still other things for me to get into. There's still other things for me to accomplish. I mean, dealing with like my mentoring and dealing with helping the kids out with school and stuff, tutoring and whatnot. I still have work to do, but my time there makes me feel less motivated to actually get things done. And I fear that this could become the narrative for a lot of foreigners. Now, I can admit that when most of us go to the Philippines, likely it'll be during a time of retirement. Likely you're going to be completely finished with whatever you consider to be mundane day-to-day activity and work. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to the Philippines, you're going to live it up, you're going to feel like it's an extended vacation, you're going to have the time of your life, right? At least that's what a lot of people think. But what they fail to realize is if you've been doing something repetitively for a significant period of time and then you just stop doing it, what? Tell me what could come of it other than laziness, probably sitting around gaining weight, not getting, into any activities. Maybe within the first few months or so in the country, you've already explored all of the places that you wanted to go. You vacationed in all of the places you wanted to be. Now you have to try to settle into a routine. And heaven forbid, the only times you've ever went to the Philippines, you may have only stayed for less than a month at a time. All of a sudden, you're not going to know how to conduct yourself because you only know how to conduct yourself when your time is limited. When your time in the Philippines is no longer limited, aka you're retired or you're officially transitioning there, now you have to find a way to jump into a routine that you never had to really worry about before. And I think that's probably one of the main things that scares us as foreigners when it comes to the Philippines. Besides the fact of all of the stories that you may hear about potential violence towards foreigners, if you believe in stuff like that, it could happen. Of course, I'm not dismissing it. Or if you believe in some of the stories some people may say about the young ladies, we've had enough of that this week. But it really does make you think internally about what a life for you in the Philippines will be like. And I ask all of my foreigners this. Anytime somebody sits down and tries to have a legitimate conversation about the Philippines, because I've had a lot of guys that just want to talk about this, I ask them, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years in reference to the Philippines? What do you see yourself doing in the next 5 years? Now, that's a long time from now. I mean, that's a long time to think. I mean, that's the way they want you to think about when it comes to investing. See yourself for the next 5 years or so. Yo, if you're not subscribed to the Doc Talk Stocks channel, you sleeping. Just, linked in the description area below. Y'all subscribe to the Doc Talk Stock channel. But in reference to your time spent in the Philippines, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years or so? Island hopping, settling into a particular place. Do you see yourself with a significant other, young lady? Do you see yourself with multiple young ladies? I don't know. Where do you see yourself for the next 5 years? If you're really settling into the country, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Do you see yourself, okay, let me develop a foundation. I'm going to live here, but I'm going to definitely hop over to Thailand. I'm going to hop over to South Korea and Vietnam and Cambodia, and I'm just going to jump to place to place to place. If that's where you see yourself, I need you to think about that. I need you to visualize that, because if you don't, my friend, you're going to find yourself in probably one of the worst predicaments ever. You're going to become stagnant. You're going to become bored. And the last thing you want to do is become bored in the Philippines, guys, because that's when you start to develop bad habits. I've known a lot of guys who have developed negative habits because of there being nothing for them to actually do. What do I mean by bad habits? Drinking, for lack of a better term, because it's cheap there, And I'm not saying that you're going to become an alcoholic. No, not saying that you're going to become a full-fledged smoker. No, nothing like that. But when you haven't thought through your plans in the country, you really have to step back and say, okay, let me really give myself an honest assessment about how I feel about my time in the country. Should I go ahead and give it 3 months first before I make a full-blown decision? Because a lot of us have been in the country for a few months at a time, and we can see this being a place that we want to be in. But do you really see yourself there? I really want you guys to answer this question to yourself. Do you really see yourself there? 5 years from now? Hell, 10 years from now? How do you see yourself going about the way you choose to have property? Are you going to have a property? Are you just going to rent a property? You're going to lease something. You have to think about this all the way through. And I know I'm asking you guys to do a lot. But again, time in country, significant time in country, it's going to require you to develop thought habits that I hope that you guys have already taken into consideration. Some of y'all don't even want to live in the Philippines. Respectfully so. Got you. 100%. You have every right to just go about life the way that you want to. You could just visit the Philippines every now and again. Maybe you could retire in the United States or in your respective countries and you're happy. Whatever pension you bring in, you're happy living where you are, and you just take vacations every now and again. Some of us, we want to live abroad. Again, I've said it time and time again. My biggest plan is to stay in the Philippines, but that could change tomorrow. I might find another place that I want to actually settle down in, I don't know. But with that being said, I just want you guys to think about it out loud, okay? Think about it to yourself. I want you to get a journal, man. Jot down your thoughts, man. Jot down your notes. Tell me, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? You can comment down in the comment section below. If the Philippines is where you see yourself in 5 years, let me know. If you see yourself in another country, let me know. But I think you need to really think about yourself from a 5-year plan from the time in which you retire, all right? From the time in which you say, I'm done with the rat race, I'm good, I made enough money, I'm straight. Project 5 years ahead of that. Give yourself a fair assessment. See if it's really worth it to you. And that's just my honest thoughts today, guys. I hope that you were able to pick up what I'm putting down. Hope you guys stay blessed. It's been a good Dr. Mike TV. With that being said, I'm officially out. Alis nako paalam, which means I am going out. Bye-bye. As always, love you guys. Mahal kita. Mabuhay. Peace.